Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Terumot, Perek Daled Mishnah Het. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss if a person has white figs and black figs, right? So let's say he has 50 white figs, 50 black figs, all in a pile together, right? Holding regular, and one white fig goes ahead and falls into this pile. How do we view this? One white fig of Terumah falls into this pile. How do we view this pile now? Do we say that there's 100 figs that are now ma'aleh, right? It's mevatel, that one terumah that fell in, and you're good because there's 101, you're okay. Or do you say, no, it's a white fig that only fell into 50 white figs, and the ratio over here is 1 to 50, and that's not good. So that's going to be the discussion of this Mishnah. Rabbi Yehoshua Omer, te'enim shahorot ma'alot et levanot. Right? If you have levanot ma'alot et shahorot, if you have black figs, they will be ma'aleh, right? They'll be mevatel. White figs, right? Levanot ma'alot tashahorot, and similarly, white figs will be ma'aleh, the black figs, right? In the cases we discuss. Similarly, if you had these fig cakes, these pressed fig cakes, right? Some of them were big, some of them are small. Let's say you had 50 big ones, 50 small ones, and then another, big fig cake falls in. Do we say that its ratio is 1 to 50, or do we look at it as a ratio of 1 to 100? Or if you have a round fig cake that fall, that fell into a batch of round and squared, right? Malben is actually a brick, right? Levanim are bricks, right? And these are the shape of a rectangle, right? So they're, these round fig cakes and these, square rectangle fig cakes. Similarly, same idea. So in all these cases, we're going to have a three-way mahloket. Rabbi Yehoshua, as we said, says they're oleh. It counts. We look at it as a ratio of 1 to 100. It doesn't matter that there's 50 and 50, black and white. Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Eliezer, Oser. Rabbi Eliezer says no. If one white fig fell into a pile of 50 white figs and 50 black figs, the ratio we're going to look at it is one white fig fell into 50 white figs, and he's going to be Oser, the whole thing. Rabbi Akiva Omer, biyadua manafla en ma'alot zoetzo. Ubeshe'en yadua manafla ma'alot zoetzo. Rabbi Akiva, interestingly enough, says, if you know what fell in, if you know white fig fell into this pile of 50 white, 50 black, then it's not ma'aleh. It doesn't work because the ratio is 1 to 50. But let's say you don't know which fig fell into the pile. So now there's safek over here. The logic of Rabbi Akiva is the safek over here is you're not even sure what color fig fell in, and therefore we're going to say, oh, we don't know what color fig fell in. So the 100 figs in the bottom are all equal, and they would be ma'aleh, the fig that you don't know which color it was. So if you don't know what color it is, then it would work because now we look at it as 100 figs to a ratio of the 1 terumah that fell in. Right. So that really sums up our Mishnah. Rambam over here, interesting, quotes the Talmud, he quotes the Yerushalmi, and he says, when we said the Gidolim are ma'alim the Ketanim, right, and the Ketanim ma'alim the Gidolim, so the Yerushalmi says something interesting, and he says, Gidolim ma'alim the Ketanim b'mishkal, u'Ketanim ma'alim the Gidolim b'minyan, right? So this means the bigger ones are ma'aleh, the smaller ones in weight, and the smaller ones are ma'aleh, the bigger ones in quantity. So what does this mean? So Rambam says, in the way he explains this, is when you have big figs and small figs, on the bottom, you have a pile of big figs and small figs, then we're always going to go with the more lenient ratio. We're going to go with either the ratio of quantity or the ratio of weight. And whichever one is more lenient, that's the one we're going to take. So he brings two examples. So for example, let's say you had 20, larger figs and 20 smaller figs. The 20 larger figs each weigh 4 pounds each, and the 20 smaller figs weigh 1 pound each. Okay, right? So it's equal in number, but the weight, you have a total weight of 100 pounds. Now you have, what happens? You have one small fig falls into this pile. So we're going to look at it that one fell into 40. That's the quantity, 1 to 40, that's no good. You need a ratio of 1 to 100. Or do we say, oh, no, there's 100 pounds on the bottom, and one of small fig that's 1 pound fell into 100 pounds, then we're good. And says that's how we look at it. So this is a case where the the gedolim are ma'aleh the ketanim, right? The bigger ones are ma'aleh the smaller one, right? Because now you have, the bigger ones are ma'aleh the smaller ones, because the big ones, there's only 20 of them there. It's only a total of 40, but because there are big ones over there, it weighs out at 100 pounds. And the opposite case, right, where the ketanim would be ma'aleh the gedolim, is, let's say you had, again, you had 10 figs, the 10 bigger figs that weighed 4 pounds each, 40 pounds, and you have another 90 figs, right, that weigh 2/3 of a pound each. So that's a total of 90 figs. That comes out to 60 pounds. So you have 60 pounds of smaller ones, 40 pounds of the larger ones. And now you have, what happens in this case, you have one larger fig of Terumot that falls into this batch. You have one larger fig, the larger fig weighs 4 pounds, and it fell into a batch of 100 pounds. So the ratio is 1 to 25. That's not good. No. But what do we look at? We look at the quantity over here. And again, the quantity is what? The quantity, as we said, the quantity is a total of 100. You have 90 small ones and 10 bigger ones. So even though one bigger one fell in, and the ratio in weight would weigh out at 1 to 25, over here, the quantity overrides, and you'll say one fell into 100 pieces. And this is how we look at it, right? This is the way the Yerushalmi explains the ketanim ma'alim tegedolim and the gedolim ma'alim tektanim, right? That you always use the more lenient opinion of either weight or quantity to be mevatel, to be ma'aleh the teruma.